Hey guys, welcome back to another video and another year. This is my first video of 2018 and I'm excited to be back on the YouTube. Hello. I'm doing some cymbals today. These are the Zultan rock beat cymbals. Something a bit different than usual. Toman got in touch and said, "Hey Ben, we've got these Zultan cymbals. People say they sound pretty good. We'd like to know what you think. Would you like to make a video?" And I said, yes, I would. I'm sure the fine people of this YouTube channel would like to know what the Zultan cymbals sound like, because they're a really good price. They're not a major brand like the big boys, but that doesn't mean that they don't sound good. So let's check them out. So, what have we got here? This setup on the kit is made up mostly of the Zultan rock beat series, and then we've got a rocket stack going on over here. Now, what you actually get is the rock beat cymbal pack. So in that, you're going to get this, which is the 20-inch ride. You're going to get your 14-inch hi-hats, 18-inch crash, and a 16-inch crash. So that's your sort of starter pack. And then we've added on here the splash, and we've got the 18-inch China, and as I said, we've got this rocket stacks over here. So you can kind of mix and match. But let's start with what you get in the rock beat pack, and we'll look at the hats first. So here we've got the 14-inch Zultan rock beat hi-hats. They're made of a B20 bronze alloy, and that's kind of what's given them that, you know, shiny, bright look, and also their bright sound. You know, all these cymbals on the kit are quite bright sounding, so that's what you're going for. That's really going to suit you. I tend to play darker cymbals, but actually it's been quite fun today just playing on these brighter cymbals. It has a different sound, and that kind of makes you play differently as well. So, you know, it's always good to mix it up with different sounds and different sounding cymbals. So these hats are nice to play. They're actually quite crisp when you got them closed, which is good, because they are quite heavy hi-hats, and sometimes if they're too heavy, you don't really get that crispness when they're closed. But you've got a nice amount of stick definition, and because they're bright, if you're playing on top of the cymbal and you're playing more like complex rudimental stuff, that will actually cut through and give you a nice amount of stick attack. And also when you open it into the like mid wash range, it's good. It's quite a smooth wash to it. And then you open them all the way and you sort of, you know, wail on it, and it's good. It's not too clunky. You know, it's definitely a bright sound. Some people aren't going to like that. Some people are. But if that's what you're going for, these are great. So I'll just play a bit of this now, some of the different sounds you're going to get out of the hi-hat, and see what you think. Alright, let's move over to the 20-inch Zultan rock beat ride. This also comes in the rock beat pack of cymbals, so you get the ride, the hats, and the two crashes. So it plays well. It's bright like the rest of the cymbals in the range. You know, I like the fact that you've got some nice stick definition here in the body of the cymbal. As you move up and you're actually playing on the bell, it's quite pronounced as well. It's got a good sound. It kind of cuts through. You know, sometimes you play on a cymbal and the actual bell of the cymbal is too quiet, and particularly on ride cymbals, it's frustrating when you can't pull that sound out in the playing. And then when you move to the edge of the cymbal and you get a wash out of it, you can really hear how the characteristics of the cymbal affect how it plays. So because it's a 20-inch ride and it's quite a heavy, bright cymbal, I think that you've got the good stick attack on the body and a good bell sound. But for me, the wash, it's good, and I'm probably being quite picky, but I like a really smooth wash on the edge of the ride cymbal, and I think this sounds quite bright, and it sounds like quite a heavy cymbal. Now, that might be the perfect sound that you're going for, and there's situations where you want that. But I think really the standout points of this cymbal is the body sound and the bell. And I wouldn't let the fact that, you know, the wash is quite a heavy sound, put you off, I'd say just play them and give them a go. Alright, let's move on to the crashes. You might know I'm a fan of the big crashes, so it's like 18 minimum for me if I'm going to have a riding crash on the kit, preferably 19, 20. So it's good that they've got an 18-inch crash in the set. I was glad to see that. It's a good cymbal. I've got it here on my left side, which is my riding side, because I'm going to always take my bigger crash and put it where I'm actually going to be riding on, but for you guys it might be over on the right. It's got a good body to it, it's got a lot of power. I mean, for me this is going to be played mainly in two ways: a powerful downbeat hit and then actually riding on it as well. I'm not really going to play it too much up on the body, the cymbal or the bell, but that is still musical sounding. But really here I'm interested in how does it wash and how does it attack and decay for like a one hit as well. And I was impressed actually. I think sometimes I'm playing cymbals and they don't feel like they wash very well, like the balance of the cymbal, the weight of it, and also the sound kind of can sound too much like it's bam, 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 instead of just like a wall of sound that I want to create. So I tend to go for big crashes that are thinner for my riding crash, and that gives me that sound that I'm looking for. So this is a very different sounding crash to what I would normally use as a big riding crash, but still when I was playing I felt like I had a good amount of resistance against the stick, so it didn't wash and wobble like that, and it created a good bright heavy wall of sound as well. So check it out, this is the 18-inch crash. I'll play some of the different sounds that you'll get out of this cymbal. Alright, moving on to the other crash. It's a very similar story to the 18. Again, like these rock beat cymbals, they're B20 bronze, nice and bright, but this second crash is a 16-inch. So if I've got two different sized crashes like this, where I've got an 18 and a 16, I'm always going to put the bigger one on the riding side for me. So that's my left, probably your right, and I'll put the smaller one on the other side. So I use it as an accent crash for either offbeats or for washing together with the big crash. I often do that as well, or I'll play it just before the downbeat accent. So that's why I've got it over on this side. So I'm going to show you kind of the sounds you get out of this cymbal. Again, like on the 18, very similar character, just a slightly less body to the cymbal because it's a smaller size, and they kind of complement each other quite well on the kit. Alright, so let's explore the other cymbals that I've chosen to put on the kit for this review. We've got a splash. I always need a splash on the kit. I think they're an awesome type of cymbal. Great for little accents, very musical, a lot of fun to play. So this is the Zultan Rockbeat 10-inch splash. Now that's slightly bigger than a splash I'd normally use. I kind of go up to sort of 8 inches, but it's actually good fun playing on a bigger splash. You know, you're going to get more body, more volume than a smaller splash, and it plays differently as well, so it's good fun. This again has a very similar characteristic to the other cymbals. It's also made out of the B20 bronze alloy. It's a bright splash, it cuts, but it's not thin, which is good. I think that 10-inch size really helps it to kind of project through. So I'll play a bit of this and show you kind of it in a groove and see what you guys think. This is the Rockbeat 10-inch splash. Alright, another essential on the kit for me is a china. I love having a nice big china up on here. And so I've gone for the 18-inch Rockbeat china. Again, same story with these cymbals tonally in terms of the alloy. It's the B20. It's a very bright china. It's got a lot of power and a lot of projection. I think, again, for my personal taste, I would lean towards a darker sounding china. They do those as well. But in terms of this whole setup, I want to see what's the Rockbeat setup like and compare like for like. So again, you know, you've got a good kind of ridge to the china. I didn't find myself playing too much, you know, catching the actual ridge of the china. So I've got mine upside down or right way up, whichever way you think, but basically with the lip of the cymbal going down. I found again that because it was a heavier cymbal, that it was good to ride on, or good to, like, you know, play those big kind of break beats on, because it doesn't move too much and it's got a lot of projection. It's very loud, very bright. You know, have a listen, see what you think. It might be that you're looking for something like this, which has got a lot of projection. I think in metal, you know, you're going to want to go for a bright china like this. It's going to cut loads. Whereas for me, I mix it up, but I do tend to go on the darker side, like a Sabian HHX. But then again, you know, I also love like a Paragon china or like a Holy china that's really bright and really powerful. So this was fun to play. Have a listen. This is the 18-inch Zultan Rockbeat china. Alright, last but certainly not least is the stack. You know I love my stacks. This is the Rocket Stacks set. So you're getting a 16-inch china and a 14-inch crash with holes cut in to help give it that short decay, trashy sound. I've got it the other way around that they kind of have it listed in the photo. So they've got, you know, cymbal on top, normal way around, and then the china underneath it. So it's kind of creating that sort of look. I do it the other way around, so I have the china on the bottom facing with the lip down, and then I flip the cymbal on top upside down so it sits in it like that. That gives me a more trashy sound. It's less tight. So if you want the other way around, you'll get a very short percussive sound, but I actually go for the trashier setup on the stack, which is why I've got it set up like that. It is a great sounding stack. Probably my favourite cymbal that I've actually put on the kit today. I'm probably biased because I do love a stack. The other cymbals are great, you know, they're musical, they've got a good sound to them, but I think I always enjoy when, you know, you get a stack that's kind of pre-made and it sounds good, because it's hard to get right. Getting that out of the bag and playing it, I was like, yeah, that will absolutely do. So I'll have a play on this stack and see what you guys think. So there we are. That was the Zultan Rock Beat cymbal series. Just to recap, that was made up partly of the Rock Beat pack. So that's the 20-inch ride, the 14-inch hats, 18-inch crash, and 16-inch crash. And on top of that, I've added the 10-inch Rock Beat splash, 18-inch china, and then we've got the Rocket Stacks setup, which is made up of a 16-inch china on the bottom and a 14-inch crash on the top. But more importantly, what do you guys think? I make these videos so you can hear different products, different bits of drum gear goodness, and make up your own mind on what you want to get. So let me know in the comments. Do you like this cymbal? That cymbal? Think they sound good? Think they sound bad? I'd love to know. And a special thank you to Toman for sending these awesome cymbals and be like, hey, let's make a review. So I'm always down to show you guys some new stuff. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.